Papa Geoff's America program is made possible by contributions from listeners like you. Thank you. If you'd like to buy Papa Geoff a cup of coffee, visit us on the web at coffee.papageoffusa.com, because you know how much Papa Geoff loves his coffee. Papa Geoff's America, the talk radio podcast, continuing the conversation, one podcast at a time. It's talk radio time from Houston, Texas, broadcasting around the country and around the world. Welcome to the Papa Geoff's America program. We're the talk radio podcast that discusses the stuff and things that you want to talk about. The talk radio podcast continuing the conversation, one podcast at a time. Inspiring guests, insightful commentary, and what would a day be without Papa Geoff's classic old guy humor, right? So, here's the guy that has trouble seeing the big E on the eye chart. The guy that some would say has a unique sense of humor, and the guy that definitely has a face for radio. Here's Mr. Here We Go himself, PG the OG, Papa Geoff. Welcome to Papa Geoff's America. The Talk Radio Podcast, continuing the conversation, one podcast at a time. I'm Papa Geoff, and this is Papa Geoff's America. On today's broadcast, Houston, Texas has for a long time now been known as Space City. Yep, when you heard the now iconic Houston, we have a problem. The crew was talking to Mission Control, located right here in the city with no limits, Houston, Texas. Now, just to clarify, the actual words in that now famous radio transmission were, quote, "Houston, we've had a problem." The voice was Apollo 13 Commander Jim Lovell advising Mission Control that an unexpected event had occurred. And that message was received at the Mission Control Center, MCC, located inside NASA's Johnson Space Center right here in H-Town, Houston, Texas. Just another reason that we are Houston strong. So while we're on the subject of space travel, Marco Pica, bassist and vocalist from the group Space Traffic, based in Italy's beautiful Aosta Valley, is going to be our special guest today. It seems only fitting that Space City has a conversation with Space Traffic, right? So as for today, Houston, we do not have a problem, and Space Traffic's Marco Pica will be with us in just a little bit. The Papa Geoff's America program, we are the Talk Radio Podcast, continuing the conversation, one podcast at a time. Here's today's fun coffee fact from the Bored Panda website, online at boredpanda.com. People working at the University of Cambridge knew the feeling of finding an empty coffee pot so well, they invented the first ever webcam with the sole purpose of checking the status of that coffee pot. I love that. And even though I use a Keurig, I definitely need that webcam for monitoring the security of Papa Geoff's secure coffee area. And there you have it, today's fun coffee fact. It's currently 90 degrees and clear with periodic clouds at the Talk OG studios in H-Town, Space City, Houston, Texas. We are the city with no limits. We are Houston strong. Coming up, Papa Geoff's America is going to Italy, Marco Pica, and Space Traffic. Next. Papa Geoff's America program is on the air anytime, any device. PapaGeoffUSA.com. Hey, welcome back. Continuing in our series of international conversations, you guys know that we've had conversations with guests in China, Central America, the United Kingdom. We have an upcoming conversation with a friend in Australia because we do have a worldwide audience. And we've also got folks here right in downtown Houston. I had a conversation with a gentleman yesterday, and that episode will be coming out soon. But today, we're going to talk about dream rock. You have any idea what that is? Dream rock from the Aosta Valley in Italy. Now, these three guys are Space Traffic. It's an independent rock band from outer space, and they settled in Italy. Now, here's a little background from their website. In May of 1969, which some of you remember, some of you don't. I do. Papa Geoff was 10 years old in 1969, while the capsule of the Apollo 10 mission was flying over the dark side of the moon. All communications suddenly stopped, and the crew started to hear a strange music. Now, back on Earth, NASA, which happens to be based here in Houston, that's why we're called Space City, NASA tried to explain this event, saying it was caused by traffic of spatial objects that came in contact with the magnetic field of the moon. Now, nearly half a century later, at the end of 2015, the Space Traffic was born. Now, Space Traffic is Fabio Baldessari on guitar, the Marco Gugliotta on drums, and Marco Pica on bass and vocals, and they all pay tribute to that 1969 Apollo event. Marco Gugliotta has since left the band, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. They have a new drummer, and they're going to be announcing that soon. But let's talk about that. Space Traffic, and for today, Space Traffic band member Marco Pica. Marco is with us today, all the way from Italy. And Marco, welcome to the program. Thank you so much for coming on and taking the time.
Hello, hi everybody. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here and to have this little conversation with you.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for being here. I think the Apollo program was great. My father actually worked on the Apollo program. He was a not a rocket scientist, but he was an aerospace engineer. So he worked on, along with hundreds of other people, he worked on the engines that actually took the Apollo, the Saturn rockets off from Cape Canaveral in Florida. But so the Apollo program, and growing up in the 60s as I did, was very powerful for me. But how did Space Traffic, how did you guys get started?
Oh, it was some kind of strange things. It is always a strange event. We met, me and the drummer, because we work next to each other's, in different places, but very next to each other's. And then Marco, the drummer, has a long. He knew this guy Fabio on the guitar because they played together a lot of time ago, and so we say, I play drum, I play bass, I know a good guitar player. Why don't we try to make some kind of jam? We started making jams together, and then we hear so many good things during these jams, so much energy inside the music we were making, that we find out that it was a good moment to start a new band and to make our own music, because the music just short out of our hands really in these moments. I'm not the only one, I think, to find out this energy coming out from his hand when he plays. But it was so cool because nobody nobody of us just find this emotion, these feelings before that. And so we had to start this way.
I know on your website it says that from the beginning the band was transported in the composition of new songs with a rock, spacey, and psychedelic touch. And I can definitely hear that in the music, and certainly growing up with the music of the 60s and the 70s and such. But you guys do have a very unique sound, and I have listened to your stuff. I know your Numbness was your debut album that came out in 2018, right?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
it I loved it. And I know now that we're gonna put the links in the show notes so that our audience can listen to that. It's special. I'll tell you, it does have an energy to it, and you guys have definitely got something going on there. Do you have a favorite track, a favorite song from that album?
It's so hard to say. I think Numbness, the first song, it's a good point, uh, because it has so many stuff inside that it can synthesize many things that you will find out during the next songs. Uh, we like very much also the last song that is called The Dream. Let me say, you said before that we think to play some kind of dream rock, and because it's a very long play, it's a very long song. It has so many things inside, different things, different feelings, and it's something like a dream. When you dream, you find different situation, and in each moment it can change everything, and it's a little bit of that. So that's why we love it so much. I know it's not easy to hear this kind of music because it's not for everybody, but we hope to be heard by everybody, by many peoples, and to enter in their heart, because our music comes really from our hearts.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I can hear it in your songs that you guys put out, and we are definitely going to have that available to our audience, and it's also available on all the streaming platforms as well. But we're going to put it out to our people, and our technical people are actually going to put. I don't know if it's Numbness or they're going to put one of the other songs here in one of the segments here, so they can not only hear you and I chatting, but they're going to be able to hear some of your music. And you guys have different styles. You put it together again in your website. It says different styles emerged in an unusual and unexpected way, and there was the feeling of being involved in a dreamlike spatial traffic. And I think that's great. I think music takes us to a different place. It takes us to an area where we probably are not right now. It can take us away from the problems that we have. It can bring us to a place maybe where we were and we had good memories of before. On the other hand, it can probably take us to a place that maybe we don't want to be, because everybody has bad memories as well. But I think overall music is something that brings people together. And I think that now that we're starting all over the world to come out of COVID, different areas of the world, obviously at different rates of coming out. I think you guys are definitely, well, I know you guys are definitely onto something here. And I know you're going to be, now that COVID is getting itself under control, I know you guys are going to be getting back out and playing some gigs. What do you guys have on the books? What's coming up next?
It's not that easy in this moment.
Yeah.
And for now, we have a show for the 17th of June. So it's always on Thursday. And for the moment, it's just the only live action in program. But I think for the summer, we're gonna find something else, because when it was gonna be summer for the good season, we can stay at there, and also the COVID restriction will go a little bit below, and it's gonna be better. However, for this gig of the 17th of June, it's gonna be available also on streaming, and we're gonna publish the link on our social platform, so everybody can hear her music during a live session.
Awesome. And we will definitely, as soon as you send it to me, I will put it out on our stuff as well. So we will make sure that our folks can hear you guys do that. And as COVID gets better, we're all going to be able to get back to normal, and hopefully you guys will get some really great gigs coming up. I know your manager is an awesome person, and we will get you guys back out there. You guys mentioned the 1969 Apollo 10 mission and stuff, and is it, I don't want to get into alien things here. I'm kind of going off on a tangent, and this is not in the this is not this is not in any of the notes that we talked about, but is space traffic kind of just a feeling that comes and because it obviously in your bio it says that space traffic settled in Italy. Is it just the power of the music and the power of the universe and stuff that all came to you guys, and then everything came together in Italy? How does that work?
I think it's a good answer. Yours is a good answer.
Thank you.
Really, it's something like that, because sometimes you find that the energy is coming to you, and you cannot control that, and you don't know why, but it is that way. So it's very hard and difficult to say.
I have friends that say that we are the most advanced race of people in the universe, and they talk about, I know there's a new term and I can't remember what it is, but UFOs, unidentified flying objects. No, there's other life out there, and personally I think there is, and I think that if we believe that we're the smartest people in the universe, I think we've got a big reckoning coming, because we're clearly not. We're the aliens. I mean, if a race of beings can do what they're doing, and I'm sure many different planets, but if they can do what they're doing and get here, I mean, we can get to the moon and we can get to Mars, but it's taken us so many years to do it, and they can come here. I think we're the aliens. They're the smart ones.
Let me say, we want to believe.
True. I think if the aliens, and I don't want to say that in a negative way, certainly not, but
yeah,
man, if they come here and they see us, and they're going to get scared and turn around and go home, because we are not those folks. We are mean to each other, and we are, hey, let me make more money than you, and I've got a bigger car than you do, and I've got a prettier wife than you do, and I've got a bigger house than you do. Who needs that? Let's just all, in my humble opinion, let's just take care of each other. Why is that so hard for people? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's right. And let me say, I really agree when you said before that the power of music is the fact that you go outside your own body, you go into a different planet, into a different universe, and you feel in peace and happy and full of energy, and so.
No, you're absolutely right, and I personally, I love music. I'm probably one of the few people on the planet that don't believe that disco is dead. I think it's still around, and I like to listen to the music of the 70s and the 80s, and I listen to a lot of talk radio as well, and I have friends that do talk radio, and so I'm a news junkie. I like to keep up with what's going on in the news, but it can be so negative most of the time, and that's why we here at the show, we love to talk to musicians and people that are putting out new stuff, and people that we've talked to some folks that are just starting their careers, and we've talked to folks that are reinventing themselves. And I think it's just great. And especially internationally, what's going on in Italy, and Italy, of course, was hit horribly with COVID. And and it is coming out, certainly maybe not as fast as other countries, but making new friends in other countries. And you can make friends through music. You really can. You can connect through music. And I think that's a lot of what you guys do.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that's great. So you've got a new drummer that's going to be coming out in this new thing. Do you want to give us a clue, or do you want to hang on to it? And it's okay if you want to hang on to it. I understand press releases and stuff like that, but I know.
Yes, thank you for that, because let me say we are very happy to announce these things, because it's the very first time we speak about it, and I'm happy to speak about it here, toward Houston.
Houston,
so
we have a problem? No.
no problem,
No problem.
because let me say, I really want to thank you, Marco, our first drummer, because we couldn't be here if he wasn't with us. But now he has left the group. He's not in Aosta Valley anymore, and so we find a very good guy, really cool. He is really hard on the drum, very tough, let me say.
Okay.
So we're happy about him, and on the 17th. On the 17th of June, we're gonna have our first gig together, and we're gonna show him for the very first time.
His debut. That's great.
Yeah, it's a debut for us together.
That's good. I like hard drummers. If there's in music with me, it's about the bass track, and it's about the drums, and it's a percussion too, but it's about the drums. If your drummer, and I suspect that he does, if he's got a really, really strong kick drum, I am going to love it for sure. Absolutely. If it's got good kick drum, and double kicks is even better, but if he's got a real strong kick drum, I love it.
Yeah, you have to know this, because it's really cool. When we have when we rehearse, when we make rehearsal, and he put the kicks, he kicks out everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I feel like moving away from the room because it's too heavy.
The room is pounding.
Yeah, I started flying.
There you go. There, see, he's, Marco did his. He did great for the band, and it was his time to move on. And now he hasn't been replaced, but another person has joined the group, if you will, and now the group is going to go on to even bigger and better things. And you know what's going to happen in the future? It usually does. Marco's going to come back. You never know. You guys might have double drummers one day, in a performance here in Houston. That would be great.
Oh, I hope so. It's going to be so cool. Incredible, let me say.
That would be great. Well, we certainly wish you guys the best. Guys, you can follow Space Traffic, all of their music on Spotify. They have a YouTube channel. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. Their social media is awesome. They also have additional information on a third-party website, Reverb Nation, all one word, Reverb Nation /Space Traffic. And you guys are going to love this stuff. You absolutely are. I hope they do come to Houston one day, or that we're able to go to Italy one day. Never say never. Things change every day, and we've made some new friends here today. And Marco, thanks so much for coming on the show. We have thoroughly enjoyed it. We appreciate you taking the time, because it's coming up on 8:00 at night there in Italy. We're into our afternoon here in Houston, and it's 90 some degrees and 9,000% humidity. It's another warm one today. But we hope that you and maybe even some of the guys will come back and see us. Would you guys think about that?
Oh, I really hope so. Really, really. Thank you. Thank you very much for your kindness, for this great possibility. And I've been very, very happy about this conversation.
We are happy as well, Marco. Thank you so much. We wish you all the best. Guys, the group is Space Traffic, all the social media platforms. New gig coming up. We will keep you guys posted on that so that you can get the live streaming of that. They will be announcing their new super, super duper hard drummer, which I'm there for. I'm absolutely there for. And it's going to be great. So, Marco, thanks again for coming on. We'll definitely be in touch. And I believe that we should end this conversation by saying ciao. Be well.
Ciao.
I like it. Thanks again for coming on. Guys, this is the Papa Geoff's America program. We are the talk radio podcast, continuing the conversation, one podcast at a time. Thanks for joining us today for the Papa Geoff's America program. Check out more episodes of the Talk Radio podcast at papageoffusa.com. You can subscribe through the link on our website or wherever you get your podcasts. We're on all the major platforms. papageoffusa.com is your home for everything Papa Geoff, anytime, any device. And while you're there, you can check out more episodes of the broadcast, get in contact with us, and easily link to all of our social media. Your thoughts, comments, suggestions, and feedback are what really make this program happen. So send us an email at our website, papageoffusa.com. Please help us get the word out and share our broadcast with all of your social media followers, because sharing is caring. And speaking of caring, if you'd like to help us coffee up here at the Talk Radio Podcast, give a click to the Buy Me a Coffee link on our website. You know how much Papa Geoff loves his coffee. Let's all remember to follow the CDC's as well as your state and local COVID guidelines. Get the vaccine when it's your turn. And let's all do the right thing and take care of each other. Remember, disagree doesn't mean dislike. We're all in this together. Thanks again for joining us today, and next time bring a friend with you. We're looking forward to seeing you next time on the Talk Radio Podcast, continuing the conversation, one podcast at a time.